Hello, everybody. Welcome to Progressive Field here in Cleveland for the hypothetical Game 1 of the 2016 World Series against the Chicago Cubs. This is History Maker Baseball, and we're going to attempt a what-if pre-play. Not trying to predict anything, but as we stand right now, the Dodgers actually lead the Cubs 2-1 in the playoffs. So I'm kind of bunking a trend there because I still think the Cubs are going to come back and win. And Cleveland still holds a 3-1 lead over Toronto. So what I've done is I'm going to do a pre-play of a hypothetical Game 1. I'm using the lineups that were used in the division series, so tried to get as close as I could to those. I also did some more tweaking. As some of you know, I tried to add some left-right splits into the game, and I did that with splitting the player cards. For instance, somebody like Dexter Fowler, I gave him a column versus left-handed pitching and a column versus right-handed pitching. But for the pitchers, I had adjusted the playbook with a couple of platoon factors. And then someone had mentioned and made a good point that could skew the other results that are in the book. So that may not be the best route to go. So I thought to myself and said, well, if I've did the batter cards against lefty and righty pitching, why couldn't I do the pitcher cards that way? So that's what I did for those who had extreme splits. If their splits were relatively close, I didn't touch it. Such as Corey Kluber, I did not mess with his card at all. That's the exact card that came from Play.com. But today's starter for the Cubs, John Lester, I did look at his numbers, and he was slightly more effective against left-handed batting. So against lefties, he's an ace. Against righties, he's a semi-ace. He's still a flash for both. But against lefties, he's double control. And against righties, he's only got single control. Now, if I was playing a National League game and he had to hit, you're thinking, okay, where are you going to put his hitting ratings? Well, I'm working on that. So I'm thinking about possibly doing something like Stratmatic does with pitcher hitting cards. And, pitcher hitting 1 has so many qualities, pitcher hitting 2 has certain qualities, and so forth. So that's what I'm thinking about doing for those pitchers. Like I said, majority of the pitchers aren't going to be changed, but the few that had those a little bit more extreme splits, I wanted to incorporate that into the game to try to make it more realistic if possible. So that's what I did. And also with the umpires, I have no idea who the umpires are going to be for the World Series, so I just picked 4 out of the 2016 set that came with the game. So starting umpires, Jeff Nelson is your home plate umpire. Hunter Wendelstedt is at first. Joe West is at second. And Ron Kulpa is at third. All right, so we're ready to go. I'm going to skip the starting lineups for each team. Just get to those as the game progresses. Corey Kluber, the right-hander, against John Lester, the lefty. Dexter Fowler has stepped to the box, and he is ready to go, as are we. Both teams, mood-wise, are harmonious because if you can't be harmonious for Game 1 of the World Series, when can you ever be harmonious? I did do random rolls for cold and hot. Ben Zobrist is the designated cold batter. Javier Baez is the designated hot batter. And for Cleveland, Rajay Davis is the designated hot batter, and Kipnis is the designated cold batter. And I'll just kind of zoom over the lineups right here real quick. Fowler, Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist, Russell, Hayward, Baez, Ross, and Coughlin is going to be the DH. And then for Cleveland, we've got Davis, Kipnis, Lindor, Napoli, Santana, Ramirez, Geyer. Because of the lefty on the mound, they're going to use Geyer and not Naquin. So Geyer will be there, but Naquin is on the bench. Then we got Chisenhall and Perez catching. All right, now we're ready to go. First pitch coming up, it's Fowler. And if you look at his card, split-wise, by the statistics, they're fairly close. He does a little bit better against right-handed pitching. You can see he's a hero both ways. But against right-handed pitching, he's got a little more power, so he's a home run king against righties, only a semi-slugger against lefties. He's patient against righties, but only semi-patient against lefties. However, he is a whiffer against righties all the way and only a semi-whiffer against lefties. So it's a nominal difference, but it's enough, I think, to make it, obviously if you make a roll that's looking for a slugger versus a home run king, that's a big difference. So that's what the numbers bared out over the season. So we'll see what happens here. Corey Kluber against Dexter Fowler as the hypothetical Game 1 of the World Series is now underway from Progressive Field. And we get a 1-3-4. 1-3-4, is it a goal catcher? No. is, let's see here. I'll take that back. Perez is a gold catcher. I didn't need to check that. Perez is a gold catcher. So it is a strikeout. How about that? The only way to stop that is if you had a good eye, and Fowler does not have the good eye quality, so it is a strikeout. I'm so used to not having gold catchers, I just usually skip by that, but this time it worked. All right, now we're looking at Chris Bryant. He's pretty much better against left-handed pitching. He's a semi-champion there, only a hero against righties. He's a home run king against lefties, only a slugger against righties. He's patient against lefties, he's not patient against righties, and he's a whiffer both ways. So facing the righty is going to be not quite as good for Chris Bryant as it would have been. Let's see if he can overcome that. We have a 5.56. 5.56. Is he an ace? Corey Kluber is a star, but not an ace. Is he a sad sack? No, he's not. So it's a double to right field. A double to right field for Chris Bryant. He's not active, so there will be no stolen base, but it's a one-out double, and the Cubs have something going here in the first. And that'll bring up the third place hitter, Anthony Rizzo. And again, Rizzo much better against the righties. So in our stats with the splits, he's a semi-champion against righties, only a semi-hero against lefties. He's a semi-slugger both ways, semi-home run king both ways, but he is semi-patient against righties. So he's a little more patient facing the right-hander. So let's see if that plays out against Corey Kluber here. Bryant at second, one out. It's a 1-1-3. 1-1-3. Is he an ace? No, he's not. Is he a slugger? Against right-handed pitching, he's a semi-slugger. Decide or Die says no, not this time. It's still going to be a single to center field. The two dots talk about if he's a sad sack or a home run king, he will strike out. He is a semi-home run king, so we're going to roll and see if he is a home run king. He is not, so the single will stand. Base hit for Anthony Rizzo. With the lead die of 1, the base advancement is only 1 base for Chris Bryant. So we got runners at the corners now for switch hitting Ben Zobrist. And again, he did a little bit better against lefties. He's a semi-hero against lefties, but he's neutral against righties as far as his batting average. And most everything else is pretty much the same. So we'll see if that comes into play. Double play is in order, though. So if Kluber can induce a ground ball, he could get 2. We've got a 4.46. 4.46. Is he a star? Yes, he is. Corey Kluber is a star. So it's a ground out to second, but on a lead die of 4, the runners advance. So Chris Bryant will actually score on that ground out, and Rizzo will go to second. It's a 4-3 ground out for out number 2, but the Cubs now lead it 1-0 on the RBI ground out by Ben Zobrist. All right, Addison Russell is next. Now his splits were not variance, or did not have much variance at all, so just stuck with his regular card. He's a slugger and a semi-whiffer. We had a 2.56. 2.56. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not a struggler. Is he a champion or patient? No, he's not. So we have infield drama. And if we go to the Indians infield, Francisco Lindor is gold. Jason Kipnis is semi-gold. So we will need the decider die. 3.6. 3.6 on the infield drama. Third baseman gold. Third baseman Ramirez is neutral, so he's not gold. Otherwise, batter safe at first on an error. So, all right, we got an error. We got an E5. Error on Ramirez. And that will move Rizzo to third base. Puts runners at the corners again. And we have our first error of the game. So runners are at the corners as Jason Hayward steps to the plate. He had minuscule differences versus lefty and righty. Not much going on there. He had a tough year all the way around. So here's Kluber trying to get out of it facing Hayward. And we got a 1-1-5. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. It's a pop out to the infielder of our choice. We'll say he pops out to Kipnis at second. And the inning is over. But the Cubs pick up a run, and after half an inning, it's the Cubs 1 and the Indians coming to bat. Okay, bottom of the first. Apologize for my speech here. I'm fighting a cold that has just started to come on me. Don't know where it came from, but obviously maybe somebody at work passed it along. I don't know, but it's getting into my throat and into my nose a little bit. I haven't sneezed or coughed, but it's a bit irritating, and it's kind of affecting my voice, so hopefully it'll hold out. All right, John Lester facing Rajai Davis, and his splits were not that different either, so I just left his card as is, and we'll give it a roll. And in fact, the dice are starting to stick a little bit on this game board, so I'm going to actually roll on the game book. I think we'll get a better roll out of that. So let's see here, 256. 256. 256. Is he a struggler? No, he's an ace. Is he a champion or patient? No, he's not. So infield drama for the Cubs. And for the Cubs, Bryant is gold, Russell is semi-gold, and Baez is semi-gold. So some chances for some gold infielders here. But Sire Dice says no way. 3-3, pitcher iron. Okay, that's different. Lester is neutral. He's not iron, so it's a routine ground out. Lester will take that grounder from Davis, throw over to Rizzo, one away, and that'll bring up second baseman Jason Kipnis, and his numbers also were not that different versus left and right, so I left his card alone. It's a 3-5-6. How about that? We get the split right here. Kipnis is a lefty. Lester is a lefty, so he's going to strike out. So that's where the split came in without my tinkering. And there's two away for Francisco Lindor. And again, most of the Cleveland players did not have that big a difference. The Cubs had a lot of them, but Cleveland not so much. Here is Lindor. 2-5-6. We just had that not too long ago. 2-5-6. Is he a champion or patient? No, he's not. So we have infield drama again. So again, we will go to the infield drama chart. And we get a 1-2. Desired Eye says they will be gold this time. 1-2. Shortstop iron. No. Russell is semi-gold. Actually, it's gold this time. So it's instead of a two-base error, it's only a one-base error. So how about that? Lindor will still reach on the E6. So one error apiece by each team here in just the first inning. But instead of it being where it gets thrown into the dugout and the batter gets two bases, since he was not iron, it's only a one-base error. That'll bring up Mike Napoli. Now, Napoli does have the splits. He is much, much better against lefties. Tore up lefties. So he's a semi-hero against lefties, only a semi-utility against righties. He's a home run king both ways and a whiffer both ways, but his odds of getting a hit have increased greatly facing the lefty rather than the righty. So we'll see if Napoli can take advantage of that. These are all by his statistics. All right, we got a 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's an ace, but he's not a star. Is the batter a home run king? You know what? Napoli is a home run king, so that is a two-run homer to left field. And the Indians grab a 2-1 lead. Both runs unearned. That error by the shortstop Russell has opened the floodgates for 2 runs for Cleveland, because Napoli should never be batting, but they'll take it. It's 2-0. Here's Carlos Santana. His numbers did not change, so got his original card. It's 2-3-5. 2-3-5 says, is he wild? No, he's got control, so he's not wild. Is the batter eager? No, he's semi-patient. So he grounds out to second unless he's patient. He is semi-patient. Desired Die says no, so the ground out's going to stand 4-3, and the inning is over. But thanks to the home run by Napoli, after one complete, here in Game 1 of the Hypothetical World Series, it is Cleveland 2 and Chicago 1. Okay, top of the second, and Javier Baez has another one of those split cards. Much better against lefties. He's a semi-champion versus a semi-hero. Everything else is pretty much even, but the batting average is higher against lefties, so he won't do as well hypothetically against Kluber because of that, so we'll see. It's a 2-2-3. 2-2-3. 2-2-3. Is he wild? No. He has control. Is he slugger or utility? He is a slugger, so he will line out to short unless he's a whiffer. And he's actually both. He's a slugger and a whiffer, so he will strike out. So Javier Baez down on strikes. Brings up the number 8 hitter, catcher David Ross. He also has a distinct difference in his batting. Let's see if it comes into play. 1-3-6. 1-3-6. Is he an ace? No, he's a star. Is he whiffer or cold? Is he whiffer or cold? He is a whiffer. He is a whiffer. So he will strike out. So Kluber strikes out Ross. Now we go to the number 9 hitter, designated hitter, Chris Coghlan. Using him as a DH because he's an iron fielder, so that won't come into play. Slightly better numbers, better power numbers at least against righties. So he's a scrapper against lefties, or semi-scrapper against lefties, semi-slugger against righties. So let's see if that makes a difference. It's a 1-5-6. 1-5-6. Is he a whiffer? Yes, he is. It's another strikeout. So striking out the side was Corey Kluber. Maybe energized by that 2-run homer. And after an inning and a half, it's still Cleveland 2 and the Cubs 1. And we're starting the bottom of the second with Jose Ramirez, third baseman. His splits were not different, so if you're using his original card, it'd be Ramirez, Geyer, and Chisenhall against Lester. 1-3-3. Is he an ace? Lester against righties is a semi-ace. The sire die says no. Had he been facing a left-handed batter, he would have gotten that ace call. But he doesn't get it because Ramirez is a switch hitter batting right-handed. So he's not an ace this time. So we skip that. Sorry, an interruption there. All right, so we skipped the ace check because of the right-handed batter. Is Ramirez a slugger? No, he's not. But he still will single to center field unless he's a sad sack or a home run king, which he is neither one. So it will be a leadoff single for Jose Ramirez, whereas if Ramirez was a left-handed batter, the ace check would have come into play and would have ground out to first. So that's where the split came in on that one. All right, here's Brendan Geyer. His splits were not that different, so I just used his regular card. Geyer steps to the plate. 4-5-6. 4-5-6 with the decider. 4-5-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? Is the batter patient? No, he's eager. So it's going to be a fly out to center field for out number 1. He flies out. That results in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart. And again, both teams are harmonious. So team chemistry. And this at bat will be Chisenhall batting off the chemistry chart. And we get a 4-5. 4-5. Batting team harmony. Yes, they are. Focus batter waits on pitch. Walk. So he will walk. And that will move Ramirez up to second base with 1 out. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Roberto Perez. And his card is the original card. It's nothing, the splits weren't that bad, so just kept it as is. And he's got 2 on and 1 out. And we got a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No, he's got control. Is he eager? He's actually semi-patient. So it's a ground out to second unless he's patient. He is semi-patient. The sire die says he is patient, so it's a walk. So Perez has walked to load the bases against Lester. Bases are loaded. Only 1 out for the top of the order and Rajai Davis. So Rajai Davis batting. Bases loaded, 1 out. And we get a 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Is he a star? No, he's an ace, not a star. Is he a home run king? No, he's a semi-slugger, but he's not a home run king. So he will fly out to left field. Now, on a lead die of 2, it says active runner on third scores on a fly out, others hold. Jose Ramirez, who is on third base, is a semi-active runner. The sire die says he is an active runner, so it will be a sacrifice fly for Rajai Davis. So the decider die gives him the sacrifice fly. And that went to, looks like left field. So sacrifice fly to left field for out number 2. Ramirez will score, and the Indians extend the lead to 3-1. And that'll bring up Jason Kipnis with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Kipnis, a 3-4-6. Is the batter eager? No, he's not eager, so he will walk. So yet another walk. That is the 3rd walk of the inning issued by Lester, and that will load the bases again. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Francisco Lindor. Lester needs to get out of this, or it could be a long day for the Cubs. It is a 2-2-4, 2-2-4, 2-2-4. Pitching at home, no, he's on the road. Is the batter a slugger? Lindor's a semi-slugger. Decider die says he is a slugger, so he's going to double to left field. And that double to left field, active runner scores from first on doubles. Kipnis is not active, so he will stay, but it's a 2-run double for Francisco Lindor. And all of a sudden, the Indians are trying to break this thing open. They may have already done so, although the Cubs do have a good lineup. 2 more runs come in. It is now 5-1 ball game with runners at second and third. And Mike Napoli, the batter, but they're going to intentionally walk Napoli. So that will be the 4th walk of the inning. This one's intentional, though. And that'll bring up Santana. Now, the intentional walk means 3 straight batters have reached. So Lester would now be a semi-struggler. So we'll see if that comes into play. Santana, bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-2-3. 1-2-3, both flash and fresh. Yes, he is, so it's a strikeout. And that will end the inning. So Lester pitches out of that one. But 3 runs come in for Cleveland, thanks to a lot of walks and the big double by Lindor. So after 2 complete, it's Cleveland 5 and Chicago 1. Okay, top of the third, and the Cubs have their work cut out for them. Here's Dexter Fowler, top of the order. He struck out his first time up to lead off the ball game. 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Is he a star? Yes, he is. Corey Kluber is a star. It is a strikeout. He does not have a good eye, so the strikeout will stand, and that's exactly how the game started, with that exact same roll, I do believe, if memory serves me correctly. So that is a strikeout. And that'll bring up Chris Bryant. 4 strikeouts in a row for Kluber. Here's Chris Bryant. It is a 1-3-4, 1-3-4 gold catcher. Yes, Perez is a gold catcher, so it is another strikeout. 5 strikeouts in a row for Kluber. Here is Rizzo. See if he can break that trend. Then we get a 3-5-6. Well, that's the left-right check. He is a lefty batter against a righty pitcher, so we skip that. Utility or sad sack? No, he's neither one, so it's a single down the first base line for Anthony Rizzo. So that breaks up the strikeout chain. And Rizzo gets a 2-out single. Here's Ben Zobrist. 1-2-4. 1-2-4. Control. Kluber does have the control quality, so it's a ground out to short, and the inning is over. Technically a fielder's choice, 6-4 to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the third, still a 5-1 advantage for the Cleveland Indians, and the Cub bullpen is already up and active and loosening here. Looks like Justin Grimm is going to be loosening for the Cubs. If Lester should get in any more trouble, here's Ramirez to lead things off. He led off the inning last time with a single and then scored. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Control pitcher. Lester is a control pitcher. Even against righties, he's a control pitcher. So it's a ground out back to Lester for 1 away. And that will bring up Brandon Guyer, the left fielder. Guyer stepping to the plate, fly to center his first time up. It's a 1-3-3. 1-3-3. Is he an ace? He is, again, the Desire Die has let him down. Against righties, he's a semi-ace. Desire Die says no, so that's not going to stand. Is he a slugger? Well, Guyer's a semi-slugger, so we're going to have to roll the Desire Die again and see if he's a slugger this time. And he is not, so we skip that check. He's not a slugger. It's still going to be a single to center field, unless he is sad sack or home run king, which he is not. So Guyer, that single will stand. And we get a 1-out single for Brandon Guyer. Brings up the right fielder, Lonnie Chisenhall. He walked and scored his first time up. And we get a 3-3-6. 3-3-6. Is he an ace against lefties? He is an ace. He's a solid ace against lefties. So it will be a fly out to center field. And actually, in this case, the Desire Die would have gave it to him anyway. But it's better to not need it. Not need that Desire Die if you don't have to. So there's 2 away for Roberto Perez. With a fly out to center, makes it 2 outs. Here's Perez. 2-2-3. 223 is an ace or a star. He is an ace. I'll take that back. I almost caught myself. Well, I did catch myself. I almost missed it. Against righties, he's a semi-ace. The sire die says no, so we skip that. Is the batter a slugger? He's actually a scrapper, so that we skip that. So it's a fly out to center field. And I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong. It was 223, not 233. So I misread that. My bad. 223 was the roll, not 233. 223. Is he wild? No, he's got control. Is he a slugger or utility? He is utility, so he will line out to short. He is a semi-whiffer, so we will roll the... Well, we don't have to roll the side die. It's already there. So it's going to be a line out to short, and that's going to end the inning. Apologize for that. Sometimes I misread these dice. 2s and 3s start looking alike. So we've completed 3 here in Cleveland, and it's still 5-1. Okay, Addison Russell to lead off the top of the 4th, and Kluber is now semi-fresh, the same as Lester. It's a 2-4-6. Does he have control? Kluber is a control pitcher, yes, so it's a ground out back to Kluber. So Russell is out on a 1-3 ground out. That control quality is really good to have as a pitcher in this game. Gets a lot of perks by having control. All right, here's Jason Hayward. 1-3-4. Back to the goal catcher. Yes, he is. It's a strikeout. It's a strikeout. So another strikeout because most of the Cub batters do not have good eyes. So strikeouts are going to stand here. Here's Javier Baez. He struck out his first time up. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Is he a hero? Javier Baez against a right-hander is a semi-hero, but the sire dice is not this time, so he will pop out to second. And that will end the inning. So the Cubs are gone in order 1, 2, 3. That result was in red, so we will be going to the experience chart for the first at bat of the inning. Bottom of the 4th, it'll be Rajai Davis, top of the order. He is an icon, facing Lester, who's an icon. So icon against icon on the experience chart. 1-6, 1-6, icon pitcher. Yes, he is. Fool's batter and swinging an inside pitch, ground out to short. So Lester got Davis to pull one to Russell at short for out number 1. And we'll move on to second batter of the inning, Jason Kipnis, lefty. He is struck out and walked, so he's not put bat on ball just yet. Get a 2-5-6. 2-5-6. Is he a struggler? No. Is he champion or patient? He is neither. So we have infield drama. Infield drama. So we'll see what happens here. We get a 3-6. Desire die makes all the semi-golds gold. 3-6. Third baseman gold. The third baseman is Chris Bryant. He was already gold. He didn't need the desire die. So crazy bouncing grounder recovers nicely to make the play. Ground out. That ground out is in purple, so we will be going to the chemistry chart for this next roll with 2 outs and the base is empty. Francisco Lindor will bat off the chemistry roll, and both teams again are harmonious. It's a 1-1. Pitching team harmony. Leaping fly out at fence. So good thing that they had the harmony, or it would have been a fence check. It does not say who the fielder was. I'm going to go ahead and say it was the center fielder because it really doesn't matter. All right, so the inning is over. Cleveland is gone in the 4th, and after 4 complete, Cubs hanging tight, but they need to do some work here. They still trail it by a score of 5-1. And David Ross will lead things off. He's a strikeout victim his first time up. And we get a 5-6-6. 5-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No. Does the batter have a good eye? No, he does not. So it's another strikeout. Ross is gone to lead off the 5th. That result was in blue, so we will be going to the right now chart. And since we're in the 5th inning, we don't need the desire die anymore. The pitcher is going to be hot after that strikeout. And Coghlan's going to be cold because he struck out his last time up. So we get a 1-2. 1-2. Hot batter. Nope, he's not a hot batter, so he's going to ground out to short. So there's 2 away. 2 down for Dexter Fowler. Dexter Fowler. And he has struck out twice. 1-1-3. 1-1-3. Is he an ace? No, he's not. Is he a slugger? Against the right-hander, he is a home run king, but not a slugger. So he's going to single to center unless he's a home run king or a sad sack. And against righties, he's actually a home run king. So that means it's going to be a strikeout. So the hat trick for Dexter Fowler is he goes down in order, as do the Cubs. And we go to the bottom of the fifth, still a 5-1 ball game. Lester still hanging in there, hanging tough, but the bullpen is moving a little bit. The new pitcher warming up now is Pedro Strop. So here's Napoli. He will lead off. He is homered and intentionally walked. And we get a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is the batter eager? No, he's not eager. So it's going to ground out to second because he's not patient. The ground out will stand. It is a 1 out right away for Napoli. First time he's been retired. That will bring up the designated hitter, Carlos Santana. He's 0 for 2. One of the few Indians not to join the hit parade. 2-3-6. 2-3-6. Double control. Actually, John Lester has double control when he faces a lefty, but not when he faces a righty. He only has control, so we missed this check. The pitcher is not batting, so it's going to be a walk. So the fact that Santana was a switch hitter turned that what would have been a ground out, 2 consecutive ground outs to get out of the inning, turns into a walk. So a 1 out walk will bring up Jose Ramirez. So again, that left-right split came into play. 4-4-6. 4-4-6. Is he a star? No, he's a semi-ace, but he's not a star when he faces a righty. Sad sack, utility, or patient, he is none of those. So it's a single to right field for Ramirez. It says active steals. He's semi-active, but Decider Die says no. But Santana will take third on the base hit. So runners are at the corners with only 1 out. And with Brandon Geyer coming to the plate, we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll be right back with the new Cubs pitcher. Okay, new pitcher in the game is Pedro Strop. And he's going to be facing he's going to be facing right-handed hitting Brandon Geyer. So since a right-handed pitcher is facing a right-handed batter, he will get the ace quality on his first at bat. That's just my own little house rule that the pitcher has to have the platoon advantage in order to get that ace benefit on a first batter faced. He's already a semi-ace, so he's going to be an ace and a half on this first roll here against Brandon Geyer. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. And against right-handers, he's double flash with control. Against lefties, he's only flash. So he did much better against right-handed batters. Let's see if that plays out here. We have a 5-6-6. 5-6-6. Is he wild? No, he's not. Does the batter have a good eye? No, he does not. So it is a strikeout. So Pedro Strop strikes out Geyer for out number 2. We go to the right now chart. And Strop will be hot as a hot pitcher. Chisenhall will be neutral. It's a 1-1. Cold pitcher. No, he's not cold. Otherwise, fly out to shallow right. So he's not a cold pitcher. It's a fly out to right field to end the 5th. And keep the game right where it is after 5 complete. Score still remains Cleveland 5, Chicago 1. Okay, we go to the top of the 6th. We finished the line on Lester now since none of the inherited runners scored. He went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits, walked 5, struck out 2, gave up 5 runs, only 3 were earned, which is why I have the little slash there, runs and earned runs. All right, Chris Bryant to lead things off for the Cubs. They don't have much time to get something going here against Mr. Kluber. Let's see what happens here. This is the last inning for Kluber to be semi-fresh since the shutout is gone. It's a 3-6-6. 3-6-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a pinch hitter? No, it's a fly out to center field. So Bryant is retired. 1 away for Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo's 2 for 2. 2 singles. And we get a 1-4-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. So it's a ground out to first base. Easy second out. And Kluber is just strolling along here. Here's Zobrist. Joe Madden a little frustrated, not sure what to do to get his offense going. 2-4-4. Is he an ace? He's a star, but not an ace. Is the batter a champion? He is not a champion. So he's going to ground out to short unless he's a whiffer. And in this case, against a right-handed pitcher, Zobrist is a whiffer, so that will be a strikeout. Yet another strikeout for Kluber, and he is just dominating through 6 innings. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and Strop in his second inning of work will now be semi-fresh. He is facing the bottom of the order, Roberto Perez, and then the top of the order will be following. Perez, 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No, he's not. He's got double control. I'm sorry, he's got control against right-handers. Is the batter eager? He's actually semi-patient. So it's a ground out to second unless he is patient. Desire Die says no this time. So the ground out to second will stand. 1 away. And we're back to the top of the order and Rajai Davis. So Rajai Davis steps to the plate. It's a 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Is he struggling? No, it's a ground out to third. So that's 2 away. And the reason why we're not pinch hitting some of these right-handed batters against the righty Strop is, for one, they have a 5-1 lead, and 2, we don't want to take out good fielders. So those are 2 gold fielders, so we didn't want to take them out. All right, here's Kipnis. He'll finally get to hit against a righty, although it doesn't matter on his card. He's pretty much neutral on his card. 4-5-5. 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash against lefties? That's the only quality Strop has is flash. So that will be a strikeout. Because he does not have a good eye, it will be a strikeout. So Strop pitches through the rest of the 5th and all the 6th with no problems. We go to the 7th with the score still 5-1 in favor of the Indians. All right, we'll start at the top of the 7th. We do have a defensive change for Cleveland. The left fielder, Brandon Guyer, is an iron-rated fielder, so we're going to bring in Tyler Naquin. Tyler Naquin is a neutral fielder, but much better than Guyer. Guyer was pretty much in there only because of the lefty pitcher, so now they don't have an iron fielder out there as Naquin has taken over in left field. All right, for the Indians in their bullpen, Kluber is still going pretty good, but just in case, you never know what can happen. So just to be on the safe side, the Indians are going to have Andrew Miller loosening in their bullpen. So Andrew Miller is loosening in the bullpen in case Kluber should start to fade. He is no longer fresh since we're in the 7th. Here's Addison Russell. Russell, 1-1-2. Does he have flash? Kluber does have flash, so it is a strikeout. And no good eye, so the strikeout stands. It's yet another strikeout for Kluber. He is just piling up the Ks here. And here's Jason Hayward. Hayward, a 1-3-4. Gold catcher, yes he is, so it's another strikeout. So having that gold catcher certainly helps as well. Having Roberto Perez in there as a gold catcher definitely helps. Here's Javier Baez. I'm going to 2-3-6. 2-3-6 double control. No, he only has control. Is the pitcher batting? No. So we got a walk. So that's a walk to Javier Baez. And that's the first walk of the ball game by Corey Kluber. He has been literally in control the whole time. Here's David Ross. Now Ross is going to be pinch hit for. He was the personal catcher for John Lester, but with Lester out of the game, they're going to pinch hit for him with Miguel Montero. So Miguel Montero will now take over as the catcher. He is going to pinch hit and stay in the game to play as the catcher. All right, so runner at first and 2 outs for Miguel Montero. And again, he's got much better numbers against the righties than he does the lefties, so see if they can take advantage of that. 1-3-5. 1-3-5 is the unusual play, and it looks like the umpires are going to finally get their say. So the blue 1 means we go to the umpire chart, and there's a runner on first base. So we go to the runners on first umpire chart. And let's see what the umpires have to say. They've been quiet all game. Have to wake them up over there. Here's the check. It's a Sire Dies blank. It's 5-5. Questionable umpire at third. Ron Culpa is lenient and semi-respected. He is not questionable. Says, questionable umpire at third. Batter hits single, runner called out at third. Other umpires call runner safe at third. So it's a base hit for Montero. And the base runner, Javier Baez, makes it into third safely. A questionable umpire would have called him out, but Culpa is semi-respected and lenient, so he will be safe at third base. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, designated hitter Chris Coughlin. Chris Coughlin against Kluber. And it's a 1-4-5 this time. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? No. He's only allowed 2 consecutive base runners, so he's not a struggler. So we're going to ground out to first, and the inning is over. So Kluber pitches out of a little bit of trouble. Gets through the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time. And I would sing, but my voice, I don't think, will allow it. I want to be able to talk the rest of the day, so I better refrain from that. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, and we'll be right back with a new Cubs pitcher. All right, new Cubs pitcher is Justin Grimm, the right-hander. He's obviously much better against right-handed batting. He's a semi-ace and flash against the righties, but he's a struggler with double flash against lefties. So kind of a unique combination there. Closed the book on Strope. He pitched an inning in 2/3 and struck out 2 and didn't allow anything else. So right now, Lindor, switch hitter. So since he is a switch hitter, Grimm will not get the advantage of being an ace this at bat, since he does not have the platoon advantage. So Lindor is up there for a regular at bat. It's a 4-4-5. Is he a workman? He's not a workman. Is Lindor patient? No, he's semi-eager. So it's a ground out to first base. Lindor grounds to Rizzo, 1 away, and that'll bring up Mike Napoli at first base. And we get a 1-3-5, so we're back to the umpire chart again. This time the base is empty, so the umpires go silent for 6 innings, and all of a sudden they perk up. So base is empty for the umpires. And we get a 3-4. 3-4. Questionable umpire at second, and we do have the decider die as a yes. Questionable umpire at second. Joe West is semi-questionable, so yes, he is questionable. So we do follow this pattern here. Calls batter out at second base despite late throw. So it's a single for Napoli, but he's going to be called out trying to advance to second. So we kind of have to fudge the defensive part here. So we're just going to call it 7-4. We're going to say that the left fielder Zobrist threw over to Baez to put the tag on Napoli for out number 2. So Napoli tried to get a little greedy there. Did not come out to his advantage. 2 outs, base is empty for the designated hitter, Carlos Santana, switch hitter. And we get a 1-4-6. 1-4-6, does the pitcher have flash? He does have flash. It doesn't matter if he's facing a righty or lefty, he has flash. So that is a strikeout. And since Santana does not have a good eye, the strikeout will stand. So the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th, is completed with nothing doing for Cleveland. We finished 7 complete with the score still Cleveland 5 and the Cubs 1. And we'll be right back with a new Cleveland pitcher. Okay, we go to the top of the 8th. Andrew Miller is the new pitcher for the Indians coming in. The book on Kluber, he dominated. 7 innings pitched, only gave up 4 hits and a run. Walked 1, struck out 12. So talk about being in control. He has turned it over now to Andrew Miller. And Andrew Miller's splits weren't that differential, so we keep his normal traits that Play.com has given him. And he'll be facing Dexter Fowler. He's already an ace. He will be a double ace this at bat against Fowler. Nope, check that, because he will not have the platoon quality, but platoon advantage, so he's still going to be an ace. So he's still got his ace quality. So he's ace, star, double flash, and double control against Fowler. 1-2-5. Is he a struggler? Not hardly. Is the batter patient? Dexter Fowler against a lefty is semi-patient. Against righties, he's patient. Lefties, he's semi-patient. The decider die says no. So it's a ground ball to third unless he's a whiffer. And he's a semi-whiffer against lefties, so we're going to roll and see if he's a whiffer or not. He is, so Andrew Miller sneaks in a strikeout to lead off the top of the 8th. Fowler is down. That is his 4th. That's the golden sombrero on Fowler. All 4 strikeouts. Here's Chris Bryant. 4-5-6. 4-5-6. Is the batter patient? He is patient against lefties. He certainly is. So that will be a walk. So Chris Bryant, since he was facing a lefty, was patient. Otherwise, he would have fly to center. But since he was patient against a lefty, he got the walk. So here's Anthony Rizzo, lefty on lefty matchup against Miller. 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No, he's got double control. Is he eager? He is not eager. So he's going to ground out to second unless he is patient, which he is semi-patient against righties, but not patient at all against lefties. So it will be a ground ball to second. Decided I would have given him a walk if he was facing a righty, but not against a lefty. It's a ground out to second, and on a lead die of 2, that's a fielder's choice. So Rizzo will reach on the fielder's choice. Bryant is out 4-6 for out number 2. And that brings up switch hitting Ben Zobrist. 1-4-6. 1-4-6. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got double flash. So it's a strikeout. It's a strikeout because he doesn't have a good eye. It's a strikeout. And that's the 3rd out of the inning, so there's no carryover for a double strikeout there. So the inning is over. Nothing doing for the Cubs here in the 8th. So after taking that 1-0 lead in the top of the 1st, it's been all downhill for the Cubs. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Grimm in there again for his 2nd inning of work. He is semi-fresh now. And Jose Ramirez, the 3rd baseman, steps in. It's a 1-1-5. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Desire says he is fresh. So it's a pop out, and we'll say he pops out to Addison Russell at short for out number 1. That'll bring up Tyler Naquin. Tyler Naquin getting his first at bat since coming in as a defensive replacement. Naquin, I did not change his card. I kept it the way it was. Semi-champion, semi-home run king, and a whiffer. 1-3-6. 1-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? Grimm is not an ace against lefties. Is the batter whiffer or cold? He is a whiffer. He is whiffer, so he does strike out. So 2 down as Naquin strikes out in his only at-bat of the game. And that brings up Lonnie Chisenhall. 2 outs and a runner at... 2 outs and the bases are empty. 2-2-4. 2-2-4. They're not pitching at home. Is Chisenhall a slugger? He is a semi-slugger against a right-handed pitching. Semi-slugger. Desire says he is, so it's a double to right field, or left field, rather. So Chisenhall with a 2-out double as the Indians try to get some more insurance here. Roberto Perez stepping to the plate. And we got a 1-5-5. 1-5-5. Is he a home run king? No, he's a utility and a scrapper. So he's going to fly out to center, and that's going to end the inning. And so Grimm pitches through the 7th and the 8th without any damage. And we go to the 9th. New pitcher coming on for the Indians. It'll be Cody Allen to try to wrap things up, even though it's not a save situation. They want to wrap it up in game 1 and not screw around with it. So we'll be right back with the top of the 9th. Okay, we'll tidy up some details here before moving on to the top of the 9th. Justin Grimm, 2 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. So not likely he's going to, even if the Cubs rally, he won't be in there to pitch anymore. Andrew Miller pitched 1 inning, didn't give up anything, no hits, no runs. He did walk 1 and struck out 2. So now we turn it over to Cody Allen, and Cody Allen does have the splits on his pitching card. Against right-handed batters, he is an ace and a star with double flash and semi-control. Against lefties, he's only a semi-star with flash. So you can see he was much more effective against right-handed batters than left. So we'll see if that comes into play. He's going to be facing Russell, a righty, and then Hayward, a lefty, and then Baez, a righty. So right, left, right. They do have some pinch hitters on the bench if they want to go to them. We'll see. Right now it's Addison Russell. And since he does have the platoon advantage, he will be a double ace this at bat. And we got a 2-2-5. 2-2-5. Is he a star? He is a star against right-handed pitching. He's only a semi-star against lefties. So if he was facing a lefty, he would not be a star because the decider die says no. But his regular card here says he is a star against right-handers. So it's a ground out to the infielder of our choice. So we'll say he grounds over to Lindor for out number 1. And the Indians 2 outs away from taking game 1 of this World Series, hypothetically. Here's Jason Hayward. 3-4-4. 3-4-4. Is the pitcher a prospect? No, he's neutral. Is the batter patient? Hayward is semi-patient against lefties, but not against righties, so that doesn't fly. So he pops out to second base, and the Indians now 1 out away from taking game 1. As we look at the bench, there's not a whole lot on the bench here. They do have Tommy La Stella, who could possibly pinch hit for Baez, but Baez is a pretty good hitter, so we're going to let him stay as is. I'm not going to pinch hit for Baez. All right, it's a 3-5-6. How about that? We worried about whether to pinch hit for him on a right-left check, and we get the right-left check. And they're both the same, both righties, so it is a strikeout. So had we pinch hit with Tommy La Stella, it would have been a base hit, but we didn't. Joe Madden stuck with his man Baez, and the ball game is over. So we're right back to wrap up this hypothetical game 1 of the, or I should say game 1 of this hypothetical 2016 World Series right after this. Okay, wrapping things up here, it's the Indians with a 5-1 victory. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Indians. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the Cubbies. Winning pitcher was Corey Kluber, as he went 7 innings and only gave up the 1 run. Losing pitcher was John Lester. He pitched 4 1/3 and gave up 5 runs, 3 earned. Interestingly enough, after the second inning, it was 5-1, and it was all goose eggs after that, as the bullpens for both teams shut the door. And that's going to do it from here. A lot of strikeouts. Corey Kluber, 12 strikeouts, Miller with 2, and Allen with 1. So 15 strikeouts for the Cubs. In their 27 outs, 15 of those were strikeouts. And for the Cubbies, they walked 7 batters, only struck out 4. So big discrepancy there on the walks via strikeout or versus strikeouts. So that's it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Like I said, it's a hypothetical thing. It could turn out that Toronto makes a big rally, and it's Toronto and the Dodgers in the World Series. Who knows? But I was just doing a hypothetical one here, using those left-right splits for the batters who had the large discrepancies in their platoon advantages. So that gave some different results, and to me, it makes it a little bit more, strategery, adds a little more strategery in the game. Have to be much more aware of who's a lefty and who's a righty and how they did against each one. I know a lot of people who play this game don't like that much detail. They prefer the game the way it is, which, it's a great game the way it is. But for those of us who like these games, we're always tempted to tinker. So I'm continuing to tinker just to see, what it would do. So that's it from here. I'm going to try to rest my throat now the rest of the way and see if I can't shake this thing that's bothering me. And I hope everybody enjoys the playoffs the rest of the way, and we'll see everybody down the road.